Hi everyone, today we are going to add rational numbers. We are first going to take a look at adding and subtracting positive and negative decimals. For number 1, we have 1 6/10 minus negative 3 58/100. Remember last week we changed our subtraction statements to addition statements. So we keep the first integer the same, we change the subtraction sign to an addition sign, and the negative 3 58/100 becomes the opposite, so positive 3 58/100. Since both decimals are positive, we line up our decimal points and we add. 0 plus 8 is 8, 6 plus 5 is 11, carry the 1, bring your decimal point straight down, 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5. So our answer is 5 18/100. Number 3, we have negative 5 9/10 plus a negative 5 6/10. We're starting out with a negative decimal and we're adding more negatives to it. So it's going to be a bigger negative number. So what you can do is you can add 5 9/10 plus 5 6/10 and make sure in your answer you have a negative sign out in front. So again, we line up our decimals when we're adding or subtracting decimals. So 9 plus 6 is 15, carry the 1, bring the decimal point straight down. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus the 1 is 11. And again, we have a negative number and we're adding more negatives, so our answer has a negative in front. So negative 11 5/10. Number 5, we have negative 6 3/10 plus negative 3 8/10. Again, we're starting out with a negative decimal and we're adding another negative decimal to it. So our answer is going to be a bigger negative decimal. So you can think of it as adding 6 3/10 plus 3 8/10 and then adding our negative sign in front of the answer. So 3 plus 8 is 11, carry the 1, bring the decimal straight down. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So our answer is negative 10 1/10. Now I would like you to do numbers 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15 on your own. Please stop the video and turn the video back on when you are done solving. The answer to number 7 is 2 47/100. The answer to number 9 is negative 8 98/100. The answer to 11 is negative 8 17/100. The answer to 13 is negative 2 3/10. And the answer to 15 is negative 2. Now turn the page, page 17. Now we are going to be adding and subtracting rational numbers, fractions. And with fractions, we have to remember we must have a common denominator. So let's take a look at number 1. We have negative 5 6 minus negative 2 2/5. So we rewrite negative 5 6. We change our subtraction statement to an addition statement by changing the subtraction sign to an addition sign, and negative 2 2/5 now becomes the opposite, which will now be positive. However, we want to change this mixed number to an improper fraction. So 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12, so our improper fraction is a positive 12/5. Again, we must have a common denominator before we add or subtract. So the common denominator of 6 and 5 would be 30. So we're going to multiply negative 5 6 by 5, and we're going to multiply 12/5 by 6. So 5 times the negative 5 is negative 25. 5 times 6 is 30. 12 times 6 is 72. 5 times 6 is 30. So we have a negative 25 plus 72. So you take your 72 and you subtract 25, and you're going to have to borrow. When you subtract, you get 47. 47 thirtieths can be simplified to 1 17 thirtieths. Number 3, we have 1/8 plus -1 5/7. So again, if we have a mixed number, we're going to change that to an improper fraction. And it's already an addition statement, so we don't have to apply the rule of keep, change, change. So 7 times 1 is 7, plus the 5 is 12. Since it's a negative, it's negative 12 sevenths. The greatest common factor of 8 and 7 would be 56, so we multiply 1/8 times 7 and negative 12 sevenths times 8. So 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 8, 56, plus, and then negative 12 times 8 is a negative 96, 7 times 8 is 56. Negative 96 plus 7 is a negative 89, because we take 96 and we subtract 7, but we know our answer is going to be a negative, so negative 89 over 56. We want to simplify that, and it simplifies to negative 1 33 over 56. Number 5, we have 1 minus negative 1/2. It is a subtraction statement, so we're going to change it to an addition statement using the rule keep, change, change. So we keep the first integer. And to change the integer to a fraction, we put it over 1. And then we change the subtraction sign to an addition sign. And negative 1/2 becomes the opposite, so positive 1/2. Now we need a common denominator. So all we have to do is multiply 1 over 1 by 2. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 1 is 2, plus, and we keep 1/2 the same, 2 plus 1 is 3, keep the same denominator, simplify 3/2 as 1 1/2. Now I would like for you to pause the video and then work on numbers 2, 4, and 6. When you're done solving, play the video. The answer to number 2 is 5 6/7. The answer to 4 is negative 1 11 over 14. And the answer to 6 is 1/6.